Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I'm Miriam Zhao, wife, mom of four, real estate investor, and entrepreneur. So in today's video, something came up today and I wanted to talk about pre-approvals. Let's get right into it. You guys showed me so much love on my last video. Thank you so much. And so I wanted to bring up something, right? A lot of people that are asking me questions are first-time home buyers, right? So, you know, I know you guys have a lot of questions. There's a lot of risk involved. You don't know where you should buy, where you can afford. The very first step to buying a home is getting a pre-approval letter. Even if you're not looking to purchase a home in 2022, say your goal is to buy a home the last quarter of the year, or maybe next year, you want to save up, build your credit score. Getting a pre-approval letter is free. Absolutely free. So if you already have a relationship with the bank, Bank of America, Chase, wherever you might have a checking account where your direct deposits go, give them a call. You can do this over the phone, I believe. I did it over the phone when I bought my primary residence years ago. So I believe you can do this over the phone. Yeah, everything is done over the phone. Yes, I'm confident in saying you can do this over the phone. So if you have a Saturday, if you have a weekday where you got 30 minutes on your lunch break, give your bank a call. If you have credit unions in your town, even better, because they tend to give people a little bit more money. Especially like if you fit a particular demographic, like minority, let's say African American or African American woman, or a minority in general, the credit unions, you know, and this is not just for credit unions, actually this is for all banks, but let's not get off topic. Get a pre-approval letter. Why? Because it's going to tell you how much you can afford now. You actually might be surprised at what you can afford, but even if you can't afford a lot of money, it comes back, you know, with not that much money. Now you know what you need to work on. So it tells you, okay, maybe your credit score is too low, or maybe, you know what, you got approved for $200,000. So you know what, let me look at markets where I can find homes for $200,000. Remember, I told you, when you're buying a multi-family home, you get approved for even more. Right now, I'm actually in the process of helping a family member, very young, let's say a 22-year-old, get their first property. And we were very surprised because this person only makes $55,000 a year, but we were very surprised that they were approved for hundreds of thousands of dollars for a multi-family, and also hundreds of thousands of dollars for a single family. So we started looking at homes, and we've been looking at homes. So I say this to you also. Right now I have my primary residence, so you guys know that's on my credit right now. My Trenton home is paid for, did all that cash, so I have no mortgage on that. None of that is reporting to my credit report. But you guys know my primary residence is reporting to my credit report. A lease, I have a lease that's reporting to my credit report, and a few things here and there, credit cards and stuff like that. So I hit up my lender because we have a really good relationship. He's the same lender I used when we bought our home back in 2017. So I hit him up just to see, hey, I want to know how much I can get approved for as a second home, like a vacation home. And I was surprised at the number. So there's two different scenarios you could do when you're buying a vacation home. If it's, I think, like at least 500 miles away, there's like a mileage that it has to be at minimum away. So if it's at least that amount of miles, I believe it's 500 miles, you could, you know, say it's a second home, a vacation home, only put 10% down, which is great. Now, if you don't like that number, you want to be approved for a little bit more, let's say the market you're looking to buy your second home in, you know, it's a high market, or you just want to afford a little bit more of a house, then you can at that point say that it's actually going to be an investment property. The only difference is it's going to be a higher interest rate, and then you have to put more down. Instead of putting 10%, you have to put 20% down. So, you know, there's pros and cons to both. If you put 10% down, you could get more of a house, right? If you put 10% down, you could essentially afford more house. But then they won't be using that potential income, so you won't get approved for as much as you want. So I was surprised at the number that I got pre-approved for today, with not even using it as a potential rental, just saying that it's a vacation home. So I say all this to say, get pre-approved. It's gonna putting you in the right direction, because before you meet with a realtor, before you start looking at homes, before you can even understand where you can afford, the very first thing you need to do is get a pre-approval letter. And I tell you guys this all the time, don't waste the realtor's time. They don't get paid until the day you close. That's when they also get a check as well. So a lot of these realtors put in a lot of hours setting up these homes. You know, they go and they're doing showings and viewings and stuff like that of the home. They don't get paid until you close on the home, not when the offer gets accepted, not when you're in underwriting, when you close on the home. So this process could take 2, 3, 4, 6 months up to a year with, you know, each client. So a lot of work goes into their job, which is why I always tell people who I recommend to my realtor, Layla, or any realtor at all, get a pre-approval letter, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to refer you. If you don't have a lender, a lot of times the realtor, they have great connections with lenders, so you can get a pre-approval letter with a lender that they recommend. But honestly, just not to waste your time, call a bank that you already have a relationship with. That's what I did when I was starting my home buying journey back in 2016. I bought the home in 2017, but I never even told you guys this. So I was working at Mercedes-Benz. I was working there for 5 years, and I switched jobs, right? So I was saving up for this house, getting my credit score up, started, like, you know, looking online, saving homes. I actually met with my realtor, Harriet, at the time, and we went over like the kind of home that I was interested in. And I didn't get a pre-approval letter yet, but as soon as I switched jobs, February 28th, started working for the company I work for now, March 1st of 2016. Then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to make, you know, to start looking for homes. I didn't get approved. Why? Because I just switched jobs. Now, if you have a salary job and you present them with, okay, this is how much you're getting paid for the year, and it's a set salary job, it wouldn't have been a problem. But the majority of my my compensation comes from commission. So I do get a salary, but the majority of the bulk of it comes from commission, and I get paid 6 figures. So me switching into a new position with a whole new job, although it's actually the same position, it was the same position just with a different company, you needed to see at least 12 months to 2 years of income to see what it looks like with this new job. So I was so bummed out because I did not know that. And these are things you learn as you go. So I had to wait until 2017, the following year, and that's when we bought our home. But I just say this to say, a lot of you guys are DMing me, you guys have questions. So let's start with a pre-approval letter. You might not be in the market right now, you might not be interested. Let's say they approve you for $300,000. At least you know, oh my God, that's crazy. I can actually buy a house today with $300,000. I didn't know I could have bought a house when I had just graduated. The family member that I'm helping literally just graduated. It's a salary paying job, less than $100,000, way less than that they make a year, and they got approved. And I remember I told you guys, when you're buying a multi-family home, you get approved for a little bit more because they automatically use the comps of the rentals in that area and add that to your income now. So I challenge you guys, in the next 30 days, in the next week, in the next 7 days, call a lender, start to familiarize yourself with these terms, with the lingo, with the way these things go, and it's just gonna help you. It's not gonna hurt you. It's free. Get a pre-approval letter. You know what? Actually go and start going to open houses, see houses and stuff like that, and see what you can afford. If you live in New York City, you get approved for $300,000. You probably won't find anything in that area for $300,000. You might want to look in the Bronx, look at condos and stuff like that, or you might want to look in Philadelphia, look in Jersey, wherever. Or if you want to go down south, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas. I mean, the opportunities is limitless. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we need to take baby steps first. The very first thing you should do is get a pre-approval letter. This way you know what you can afford. If I can afford $300,000 now, if I step my game up, add to my income, January of next year or within 12 months, I can actually afford a little bit more, maybe $500,000. Just keep in mind, interest rates are going up. All this situation going on in Ukraine, these interest rates are starting to spike up. Inflation is through the roof. If you're buying a house, just be prepared to add a little bit more than the asking price. So if the house is listed for $530,000, just know you're not going to be the only offer. There's going to be minimum 4 offers. I feel like I've been hearing 7 a lot lately, so it's going to be 7 offers. So it's going to get frustrating. The family member that I'm helping now, I just keep encouraging them, Don't get discouraged. This is what happens. What's meant for you will be for you. We probably just didn't find the best one for you yet. And that's how I felt when I was also home shopping in Trenton. I kept seeing houses. I was interested in them. I would place offers. There would be 5 other offers, 6 other offers. One of the homes had an oil tank below. And then the one that I ended up getting, I'm so happy I got it, and I love it because it was open space. I didn't have to break down the walls and stuff like that. And you guys know the story. You could go back to my previous videos. But that's all I want to really talk about today. Get a pre-approval letter. See what you can get approved from now. If you're married or if you're in a relationship, even better. Combine the 2 incomes. You can get approved for maybe double some things that you would need to provide the lender. So in my case, I called my lender yesterday. He had the pre-approval letter in my inbox this morning. We have a report. He has most of this information from me already, but you would need to provide tax statements, W-2s, pay stubs. They would need to run your credit. So basically, like, most of them have you fill out a form, but they need, like, you know, these documents: W-2s, pay stubs, tax information, previous year's tax information, your pay stubs, and pull your credit to see what your credit score is. And I think that's mainly it. They'll probably ask you for a copy of your ID. You send that to them via email or whatever the case may be, or you upload it on the file. And that's about it. It's really simple. So if you are interested in buying a home, even if it's not this year, it's next year, get a pre-approval letter, see what you can afford, and then it gets the juices flowing. Oh, really? I could afford $300,000? That's crazy. What can I buy for $300,000? Let me start looking. Oh, this house is on foreclosure for $300,000. Oh, I could actually buy this for $300,000. Now, I also want you guys to know, just because you got pre-approved for this amount doesn't mean that if, like, say you buy a house, you put an offer in, your application can still get denied, because once it goes into underwriting, they check everything. I remember when I was buying my home, I remember my phone had cracked, like it fell on the floor, and my realtor was telling me, hey, I see your phone is cracked, please don't, like, purchase a new screen now, because in the beginning of it, they take your bank statements and information and stuff like that. And I think you do need bank statements as well to get the pre-approval letter, but they'll ask for that stuff. And then when you're going into underwriting, they run your credit again to make sure nothing has changed. So if you get excited, oh, I just placed an offer for this house, my offer just got accepted, and start going furniture shopping, and then let's say the funds in your account start to decrease, or you start, you know, racking up on credit cards, that increases your debt to income ratio, which is not good. Your application is going to get denied. So once you start the home buying process, it's very important for you to keep it the way it is. Don't go doing no major purchases. Wait till you sign that dotted line. Wait till you close to start shopping for furniture and stuff like that, and then go and getting your little loans and credit cards and stuff like that for furniture. Don't do it while you're in underwriting, because the application is going to get denied and you're going to be shit out of luck, and the house is going back up on the market, and the seller's going to go with someone else, because you just wasted the time. You wasted their time, you wasted your money, because you had to pay for an inspection to get the home inspected. $700. I believe I paid around $500. Now they talking about $700 for an inspection. These numbers is crazy. Like $700 for an inspection. That's really important. So don't get too excited, because what they do is, like, it's like they do a hard pull, but they like check like the numbers, but what they need is an actual home to plug those numbers in, the property taxes, and how much the home is, what the neighborhood is like, and stuff like that. Is it a A-class neighborhood, B-class neighborhood? They check all of those things. They plug it in, and then from there they go ahead and they do a deep check with you. They call your employer, make sure you work with the employer, and make sure your application, everything is on there, is accurate. You say you worked there for 5 years, they're calling the employer to make sure you worked there for 5 years. They're going through your tax information. So when you submit it, they're going through the numbers quickly to be like, okay, you make this amount, this is what you make, you've been working here, you look reliable, okay, you don't have too much credit card debt, okay, so we can approve you for $600,000. That doesn't mean like that's set in stone. Once you go into underwriting, they go and they check everything. And as you go into underwriting, they're also checking the title of the home that you are looking to purchase to make sure it has no liens on it, make sure it's a clean title, make sure the person selling it to you is the actual seller. They're taking care of you too, so they're doing their due diligence, and you want to make sure. And then as a first-time home buyer, if you go with the FHA loan, all you need to do is put 3.5%. If you're buying a single family home, you put in 3.5%. If you're buying a multi-family, you still paying that same 3.5%. Like, that's the minimum. So just get a pre-approval letter. It's free, it don't hurt. You'll get a response within 1 to 3 days, and it's a conversation starter. So I hope that helped. Thank you so much for watching the video. Like the video, don't forget to comment, subscribe to the channel, follow me on IG, and I'll see you in my next video.